Alex had always liked the quiet life. Living on the colony of Nova Terra was peaceful, at least most of the time. The settlement was small with neat rows of houses and gardens that glowed faintly under the planet's twin moons. Alex enjoyed the simplicity of his days, working in the engineering lab, fixing machines and tinkering with small robots in his garage. But everything changed the day a new neighbor moved in next door. The moving truck had arrived early in the morning, humming like a soft engine. Alex watched from his porch as a tall figure stepped down. It was humanoid, but not human. Teal skin shimmered slightly under the sun and long fingers moved with careful grace. Its eyes were large and bright, reflecting colors that Alex had never seen before. Alex rubbed his eyes, wondering if he was dreaming, but the figure waved politely and smiled. "Hello," Alex called, stepping down the porch stairs. "I'm Alex, welcome to the neighborhood." The alien returned the greeting in a melodic voice, almost like music. "I am Relo," it said, bowing slightly. "Thank you for welcoming me." Alex felt a strange mix of curiosity and caution. He had heard of alien visitors settling on Nova Terra before, but never so close to home. Still, he decided to be friendly. "If you need anything, I'm right next door." Relo nodded, then carried a large box into the house. Alex noticed that wherever Relo walked, the small plants in the yard seemed to bend toward him, almost as if they were drawn to his presence. It was subtle, but enough to make Alex raise an eyebrow. The first few days were quiet. Alex occasionally saw Relo walking in his yard at odd hours, humming soft tunes. Sometimes the humming would echo faintly across the neighborhood, and Alex felt a strange energy in the air. He couldn't explain it, but it was not unpleasant. It felt almost like standing near a small breeze on a hot day, refreshing and calming. One night, Alex was working late in his garage when he noticed a soft glow coming from Rilo's house. Curious, he walked closer to the fence. Relo was standing in the middle of the yard, eyes closed, and his skin glowed like liquid light. He swayed gently, humming in a rhythm Alex couldn't understand. Alex's heart raced. He had never seen anything like this. The next morning, Alex couldn't stop thinking about it. He wondered if Relo's behavior was normal for his species. Maybe this was some kind of alien tradition. Or maybe it was something more, something he couldn't even imagine. Despite his worry, Alex found himself fascinated. He wanted to understand Relo, to learn why he acted this way and what it meant for the humans around him. Alex decided to introduce himself properly, and maybe even befriend the mysterious neighbor. That afternoon, Alex baked some bread and carried it next door. Relo answered almost immediately. "Alex," he said, his voice warm. "Thank you." "Please come in." Alex stepped inside carefully. The house was simple but filled with unusual technology. Panels on the walls showed flowing patterns of light, and soft hums resonated through the floor. Relo guided Alex to a small table and offered a cup of a glowing beverage. Alex hesitated but took it anyway. The liquid was sweet, like honey and fruit combined, and for a moment he felt lighter, as if a weight had lifted from his shoulders. "You enjoy it?" Relo asked, tilting his head slightly. "Yes," Alex replied honestly. "It's different." "In a good way," Relo smiled. "I am glad. I wish to learn about your life here, Alex. Humans are fascinating." They talked for hours. Alex explained life on Nova Terra, the work in the engineering lab, and even the small challenges of gardening under the alien suns. Relo listened carefully, asking questions with genuine interest. Alex noticed the way his glow would change slightly depending on his emotion. When he was curious, his skin shimmered teal. When amused, it flickered a soft blue. As Alex walked home that evening, he realized that his life had changed in one day. His quiet neighborhood now held a mystery, a neighbor who was not just different but extraordinary. Alex couldn't help feeling excitement and a little nervousness. Something about Relo made him wonder what else might happen, and what effects this alien might have on the neighborhood in the coming days. For the first time in years, Alex felt that life on Nova Terra was about to become far more interesting than he had ever imagined. The next morning, Alex woke up feeling unusually alert. The air in his room seemed sharper, his senses clearer. At first he thought it was just excitement from meeting Relo, but then he remembered the strange glow and humming from the night before. Could Relo have some effect on humans without meaning to? The thought made Alex both nervous and curious. As he walked outside, Alex noticed something even stranger. The small plants in his yard, which usually grew slowly, seemed brighter and taller than the day before. Flowers that had not bloomed for weeks were opening, their colors more vivid. Alex rubbed his eyes. "That's impossible," he whispered. But deep down he knew it wasn't impossible. It was Relo. Across the neighborhood, other neighbors began noticing odd changes too. Pets acted calmer, almost as if they understood something new. Birds gathered near Relo's house, singing in unusual patterns. People walking by would pause, feeling oddly cheerful or energized for no reason. Alex realized that Relo's presence was having subtle but noticeable effects on everyone nearby. Curious, Alex decided to visit Relo again. He brought a notebook this time, hoping to observe carefully without disturbing the alien neighbor. Relo greeted him at the door with the same calm smile. "Alex, you return," he said softly. "I was wondering if you wanted to observe with me. Today I feel different." "Different?" Alex asked. "Yes," Relo replied, closing his eyes. "It is part of my cycle. It is mating season for my species. My body changes. My senses grow. My energy affects the surroundings." Alex blinked. "Mating season?" The word sounded strange and almost alarming, but Relo's tone was peaceful, not dangerous. "It is natural," Relo explained. "It is emotional and biological, but not harmful if understood correctly. Humans nearby may feel unusual sensations. That is normal," Alex nodded slowly. He was fascinated. He had expected something more dramatic, but this was subtle, almost magical.
"Can I watch?"
he asked. Relo smiled and guided Alex to a quiet corner of the yard. He began humming a low melodic tune. His skin shimmered in flowing waves of teal and blue. As Alex watched, he noticed a warmth spreading through his body, not physical heat, but a feeling of energy, focus, and calm all at once. "It was incredible and strange. You feel it too?" Relo asked. Alex nodded. "Yes, it's like I can sense everything more clearly. The plants, the air, even my thoughts feel sharper." "Good," Relo said. "This is how my species shares energy during this cycle. It is harmonious, but sometimes humans are unsure of it. It is understandable." Alex realized he had to be careful. Some people in the colony might panic or think Relo was dangerous. He made a mental note to explain things gently if needed. But for now, he was too fascinated to leave. Over the next few days, Alex observed more unusual events. Plants grew faster, and the colors of the flowers became brighter. Small animals approached humans without fear. Some humans felt bursts of creativity, suddenly inspired to try new projects or solve old problems. Alex realized Relo's presence was changing life around him in quiet but meaningful ways. One afternoon, Alex brought a small group of friends to meet Relo. At first, they were hesitant, unsure how to approach an alien neighbor in the middle of his mating season. But as soon as they spent time near him, they noticed the same effects. A sense of focus, calm, and gentle energy. People began smiling more, talking more openly, and working together with new enthusiasm. Relo watched carefully, making sure the humans were comfortable. "I do not wish to overwhelm," he said softly. "My intention is not to interfere, only to share my natural cycle." Alex nodded. "We understand. It's actually helpful in a strange way. It's like you make things grow, not just plants, but ideas too." Relo tilted his head and hummed happily. "Yes, that is my goal. Harmony, growth, connection." By the end of the week, Alex realized how rare and special this was. Life in the neighborhood was changing, slowly but clearly. People were happier, plants were healthier, and even the animals seemed more lively. And yet Alex understood that this was only the beginning. Relo's mating season would continue, and the effects might grow stronger or bring new surprises. As Alex walked home that evening, he looked at Relo's glowing house and felt a mix of wonder and responsibility. Something extraordinary was happening right next door. Life on Nova Terra had become more vibrant, more alive, and Alex knew he had a front row seat to something no human had experienced before. And deep inside, he wondered, what else could happen when an alien neighbor went through a cycle that humans had never encountered? By the start of the next week, the neighborhood was buzzing with unusual energy. Alex noticed it immediately. People walked faster, laughed more easily, and seemed to solve small problems faster than before. Even the colony's children appeared calmer and more curious, asking questions about science and nature with a focus that surprised their teachers. Alex realized that Relo's presence was no longer just a curiosity. It was having a real effect on human behavior. One afternoon, Alex walked past the colony's communal garden and saw a group of neighbors gathered in an unusual way. Some were rearranging plants and tools with incredible efficiency, while others were experimenting with small gadgets, coming up with clever solutions instantly. Alex stopped and watched. He recognized the signs. This was not random creativity or coincidence. It was Relo's influence at work, subtle but undeniable. He felt a mix of awe and worry. The benefits were clear, but what if some people reacted poorly? Alex knew humans could become unsettled by things they didn't understand. He decided to visit Relo and discuss the situation. Relo greeted him with a calm smile, humming softly as usual. "Alex, you appear concerned," he observed. "I am," Alex admitted. "People are changing around you. Some are calm, some are focused, but a few seem restless. I think it's because of your mating season." Relo nodded slowly. "Yes, my energy spreads naturally. Most respond well, but some humans are sensitive. I did not intend to cause discomfort. I wish to minimize any negative effects." Alex suggested an idea. "Maybe we can help the colony adapt. If we explain what's happening, people won't panic. We can guide them on how to use this energy safely." Relo's skin shimmered brighter for a moment, showing agreement. "I will cooperate. Your guidance is appreciated." Together, Alex and Relo approached a few neighbors, carefully explaining the situation. "Rilo's cycle is natural for his species," Alex told them. "It affects humans nearby, but it's not harmful. Some effects may feel unusual, but you can observe and adapt safely." At first, some neighbors were skeptical, unsure if they could trust an alien's presence so closely. But when they saw Alex's calm confidence and felt Relo's gentle energy, they started relaxing. Soon, small groups formed, discussing ways to harness the effects for gardening, small inventions, and learning. The neighborhood began to feel more connected. Even so, not everyone reacted positively. A few residents complained of headaches or irritability, feeling overwhelmed by the subtle energy shifts. Alex realized that while Relo's presence was beneficial, it also required boundaries. "We need to pace this," he told Relo. "Some humans can handle only so much at once." Relo understood. "I will moderate my presence. I do not wish to cause harm. My cycle will continue, but in balance." As the days passed, the positive effects became more structured. Humans were learning to work with the alien energy, rather than being passively affected. Alex noticed small innovations appearing around the colony. New tools, more efficient ways to organize food supplies, and clever methods to grow plants under the alien suns. Even simple tasks like repairing machines became faster when Relo was nearby. Alex started to feel a deep respect for Relo. It wasn't just that the alien was extraordinary, it was the way he naturally shared his energy without trying to dominate or control humans. Relo's presence encouraged cooperation, learning, and curiosity. Alex began keeping a small journal, recording changes he observed, wondering how much of it could be applied safely in the future. One evening, Alex looked up at the glowing sky of Nova Terra and realized that life in the colony was shifting in subtle ways. People were calmer, more productive, and even more empathetic. Yet the changes were gradual enough that they didn't feel forced. It was as if Relo had brought out the best parts of humanity, allowing the colony to grow in harmony with his natural cycle. But Alex also understood that this was only temporary. Relo's mating season would end and the colony would need to adjust to a new normal. Still, Alex felt hopeful. He had witnessed something remarkable, a human and an alien learning to coexist, sharing energy and ideas and helping each other grow. For the first time, Alex realized that life on Nova Terra was not just about survival. It was about discovering new possibilities, learning from those who were different and finding ways to thrive together. He looked toward Relo's softly glowing house and smiled. The neighbor who had seemed mysterious and strange was now a teacher, a guide, and a friend. Alex didn't know what the next phase of Relo's cycle would bring, but he was ready. And he knew one thing for certain: life on Nova Terra would never be ordinary again. Alex woke up early the next morning with a sense of purpose. He had spent the past few days observing Relo in the neighborhood, and now he wanted to understand more. There was so much about Relo's species that remained a mystery. How did this mating season work? Why did it affect humans? And most importantly, How could they use this understanding safely to benefit the colony? He decided to visit Relo again. When Alex arrived, Relo was in the yard, softly humming and glowing with the familiar teal and blue patterns. His movements were calm, almost meditative. "Good morning, Alex," Relo said. "You are early." "I want to learn more about your species," Alex said. "About your mating season, your cycles, everything. I think understanding you will help us adjust to your presence better." Relo tilted his head, curious. "You wish to understand? That is unusual for humans. Most fear what they do not know." "I don't fear," Alex replied. "I want to learn. I want to make sure everyone is safe and comfortable and maybe even benefit from your presence in positive ways." Relo hummed softly and nodded. "Very well. I will share what I can." Over the next few hours, Relo explained what he could. He spoke about how his species experienced periods of heightened energy, which humans called mating season. It was not violent or harmful. It was emotional, biological, and social. During this time, his energy could interact with living things nearby, subtly influencing growth, perception, and mood. "You see," Relo said, "my species has evolved to share energy during this cycle. It helps us bond, strengthen our communities, and support life around us. With humans, the energy is different, but it still encourages harmony and creativity." Alex listened carefully, jotting notes in his notebook. He was fascinated. "So your presence can help humans think more clearly and solve problems faster?" "Yes," Relo replied, "but it is not infinite. Humans are sensitive to my energy. Too much exposure can overwhelm. Balance is important," Alex nodded. "That makes sense. We need to guide people gently, just like we did with the neighbors yesterday." Relo's skin shimmered, showing a soft glow of agreement. "Yes, guidance is helpful. Humans respond well when they understand. They are curious creatures." Alex felt a sense of wonder. Here was an alien neighbor, unlike anything he had ever seen, sharing knowledge freely and trusting humans to respond responsibly. It was a unique opportunity. He decided to spend the day experimenting safely with Relo's energy. First, they worked in Alex's garage. Small machines that had been stuck for weeks suddenly started functioning smoothly when Relo was nearby. Alex adjusted components with ease, inspired by sudden flashes of insight. He laughed in amazement. "This is incredible. It's like I can see the problems before they happen." Relo watched with quiet amusement. "Your species has untapped potential. My energy does not create, only enhances what is already there." Next, they went to the colony garden. Alex was amazed to see that plants responded almost instantly to Relo's presence. Leaves grew greener, flowers opened wider, and even the soil seemed richer. "This is amazing," Alex said. "We could improve food production safely if we understand this better." Relo hummed in agreement. "Yes, but remember balance. Too much interference can cause stress. Life must grow naturally, even with assistance." Over the next few days, Alex began keeping detailed records. He measured plant growth, observed human behavior, and noted small innovations that appeared around the neighborhood. Relo guided him carefully, explaining how his species controlled energy, how emotions could influence the environment, and how humans could safely interact with this unusual phenomenon. Alex realized that Relo's mating season was not just a biological process. It was a lesson in cooperation, understanding, and respect for life. Humans and aliens could coexist, learn from each other, and even enhance each other's abilities if they approached it thoughtfully. By the end of the week, Alex felt both amazed and responsible. He had seen firsthand the benefits of Relo's presence, but he also understood the risks. The colony could thrive if they worked together, but only if humans remained careful and respectful. As the twin moons rose over Novaterra that evening, Alex walked home with a renewed sense of purpose. He had learned much from Relo, and he knew that this was only the beginning. Life in the colony was changing, and humans had the chance to grow alongside a truly extraordinary neighbor. Alex looked at Relo's glowing house and smiled. "We're just getting started," he whispered. The future felt brighter, more exciting, and full of possibilities. By midweek, Alex realized that Relo's influence on the colony was growing stronger. Most people were still responding positively. Plants were thriving, small inventions were appearing everywhere, and even the children seemed more curious and focused. But a few residents had begun to feel uneasy. Some complained of headaches or restlessness, while others seemed frustrated with even simple tasks. Alex noticed the tension building quietly, He decided to observe more closely, walking through the colony with a careful eye. He saw Maria, a neighbor who usually loved gardening, pacing in frustration, muttering about how her plants refused to grow. Alex approached her gently. "Are you okay, Maria?" he asked. She looked at him with tired eyes. "I don't know. Everything feels strange. I can't focus, and even simple chores feel impossible." Alex realized that she was reacting to Relo's energy more intensely than others. He nodded, trying to stay calm. "It's Relo's mating season," he explained softly. "His presence is affecting the colony, but it's not harmful. You just need some time to adjust and maybe a little distance for now." Maria frowned but nodded slowly. "I guess that makes sense. It's just overwhelming." Alex knew he needed to act quickly. If more residents felt this way, the colony could become divided. He went to Relo, who was humming softly in his yard, glowing in his usual teal and blue patterns. "Rilo," Alex said, "some people are having trouble adjusting. We need to help them. Your energy is incredible, but it can be strong for humans." Relo tilted his head, concerned. "I did not realize. I do not wish to cause discomfort. I will moderate my presence." "But how?" Alex thought for a moment. "We can guide them. If people understand what's happening, they can adjust. We can also create safe spaces where they can rest without being affected too much." Relo hummed, agreeing. "Yes, balance is important." Together, Alex and Relo started visiting residents who were struggling. They explained the situation gently, demonstrating how people could step back, breathe, and allow the energy to pass without trying to force it. Some residents were skeptical at first, but once they experienced the calm in Alex's and Rilo's presence, they began to understand. Meanwhile, Alex noticed that Relo's energy, when properly managed, could be used for practical benefits. In the community workshop, a group of engineers discovered new ways to improve water recycling systems. In the gardens, plants grew taller and healthier, without anyone needing to do extra work. Even small problems like broken tools or malfunctioning machines were solved faster when Relo's guidance and energy were present, but always carefully controlled. Still, Alex knew the colony was walking a fine line. Too much dependence on Relo's energy could make people less self-reliant. He spent long hours thinking of ways to teach humans to adapt while still benefiting from the alien presence. He also realized that Relo, despite his good intentions, could not fully understand human limits without guidance. One afternoon, Alex organized a small workshop for the colony. Residents gathered in the main hall, curious but cautious. Alex demonstrated simple techniques for interacting with Relo's energy, spending short periods near him, observing how the plants responded, and taking breaks to avoid fatigue. Relo assisted quietly, showing how to hum gently or allow his glow to fade when needed. By the end of the session, people were smiling again. They understood that Relo's mating season was natural, helpful, and manageable if approached correctly. Alex felt a sense of relief. He had seen the first real challenge for the colony, and they had met it with patience, guidance, and cooperation. That evening, as the twin moons of Nova Terra rose, Alex and Rilo sat in the yard. The air was calm, filled with soft sounds of the colony settling after a long day. "It was a challenge," Alex said, "but we did it. People understand better now." Relo's glow shimmered softly. "Yes, learning and adapting are essential for harmony. Your guidance helped humans respond well." Alex smiled. "We're learning together, Relo. Humans, aliens, everyone." Relo hummed in agreement, and for a moment the yard was quiet except for the soft sounds of life around them. Alex looked around at the glowing plants, the peaceful houses, and the calm faces of the neighbors. He realized that challenges were natural when different species lived together. The key was understanding, patience, and cooperation. Alex felt proud and hopeful. Relo's mating season was not just a strange event, it was an opportunity. An opportunity to grow, learn, and find ways for humans and aliens to coexist and thrive. He knew more challenges would come, but now the colony was ready to face them together. For the first time, Alex understood that true progress was not just about technology or inventions. It was about connection, respect, and learning from each other, no matter how different life forms might be. And with Relo next door, the colony had a chance to discover something extraordinary. Over the next few days, Alex noticed a remarkable change in the colony. After the initial challenges, People were beginning to adjust to Relo's presence in ways no one had expected. What had once seemed overwhelming now felt inspiring. Even those who had been anxious before were discovering new strengths and abilities. Alex walked through the neighborhood one morning, observing the transformations. Neighbors were inventing small tools to improve daily life: watering systems for gardens, energy-efficient lighting for houses, and simple gadgets to help with chores. Children were learning faster, solving puzzles and building machines with enthusiasm and focus that surprised their teachers. Alex smiled. The colony was not just adapting, it was thriving. He went to visit Relo, who was glowing softly in the yard, humming a melodic tune. "Relo," Alex said, "people are doing things I never imagined. They're more creative, more focused, and happier. Your presence, it's changing the colony in a really positive way." Relo's glow flickered in response. "I observe. Yes, humans respond well when encouraged and guided. My cycle enhances what is already present. It does not create, only strengthens," Alex nodded. "I see that. But it's more than just strengthening. People are cooperating in ways they never did before. Everyone is helping each other and sharing ideas. It's impressive." Relo hummed, a sound that seemed almost like laughter. "This is the harmony my species seeks. Life grows when energy is shared and respected. Humans have adapted quickly, that is remarkable." Alex spent the day with Relo experimenting safely. They worked in the gardens where plants seemed to respond instantly to Relo's energy. Leaves grew greener, flowers opened wider, and even the soil felt richer and more fertile. Alex began recording everything, noting how timing, distance, and focus affected growth. In the workshop, small groups of residents were discovering innovative ways to use the enhanced focus Relo provided. Simple repairs were completed in half the usual time, and ideas for new machines came to life almost effortlessly. Alex watched as humans and alien energy collaborated to solve problems that had once seemed too difficult. One neighbor, Tomas, who had struggled with his work before, built a small automated water system for the community garden in record time. Another, Lena, designed a compact storage unit that organized tools efficiently. Even the youngest children were experimenting with harmless gadgets. Their imaginations sparked in ways Alex had never seen before. Alex realized that the colony was experiencing more than temporary energy boosts. Relo's presence was encouraging humans to unlock potential they hadn't known existed. It was as if the alien neighbor was teaching them not through words but through inspiration, patience, and shared energy. That evening, Alex gathered a small group to reflect on the changes. "We've learned something important," he told them. "Relo's mating season isn't just a strange event. It's a chance for us to grow, to work together, and to see what we can achieve as a community. But we must also respect limits, our own and Relo's. That's how progress works best." The group nodded, inspired but careful. Alex felt proud. The colony was thriving, not just because of Relo, but because humans were learning to adapt, cooperate, and appreciate life in a new way. As the twin moons rose over Nova Terra, Alex walked home past the glowing gardens and bustling workshops. Even the pets seemed more alert, playful, and content. He paused near Relo's yard, noticing the alien neighbor sitting quietly, humming a soft tune. "You've done more than I imagined," Alex said softly. Relo's glow shimmered in acknowledgement. "And you, Alex, have guided humans well. Cooperation brings growth. You have learned quickly." "That is important," Alex smiled. He understood something essential now. The mating season, strange and mysterious as it was, had become a force for good. It had brought out creativity, collaboration, and kindness. Life in the colony was changing, and for the first time Alex saw how humans and aliens could not only coexist but thrive together. For the first time, Alex allowed himself to imagine the possibilities. If the colony could continue to work with Relo safely, the benefits could extend far beyond simple inventions or faster plant growth. They could explore new technology, improve their living conditions, and even strengthen bonds among people in ways that had never been possible before. Alex realized that Relo's mating season, though temporary, was teaching something permanent. Humans were capable of more than they had ever imagined. And with an alien neighbor like Relo, the future of Nova Terra was brighter than ever. As he returned home, Alex felt a sense of awe and hope. Life was not just surviving on this distant planet, it was thriving. And he knew that Relo's presence had made all the difference. Alex had grown used to the positive changes in the colony. People were happier, more creative, and more cooperative than ever before. Gardens flourished, machines were repaired quickly, and small inventions appeared almost daily. Yet as the days of Relo's mating season continued, Alex began noticing subtle signs that not everything was perfect. Some neighbors were starting to push themselves too hard. They wanted to take advantage of the energy, staying near Relo for longer hours than was safe. A few were skipping meals, overworking in the gardens, or trying to complete tasks that normally required weeks of effort in just a few days. Alex saw the excitement in their eyes, but also a faint fatigue creeping into their movements. He decided to talk to Rilo about it. The alien was sitting in the yard, humming softly and glowing with the familiar teal and blue patterns. "Rilo," Alex said carefully, "some humans are overdoing it. They want to use your energy to get everything done at once, but it's starting to tire them. We need to do something." Rilo tilted his head, his glow flickering slightly. "I did not intend for discomfort. I thought the energy was helpful. How can I assist humans in moderation?" Alex thought for a moment. "We need limits, short periods near you, breaks, and guidance on using the energy wisely. We can't force them to stop, but we can teach them balance." Rilo hummed softly, agreeing. "Balance is important. We will work together." Alex and Rilo started visiting the overworked residents one by one. They explained gently that even good energy could overwhelm if used too much. Alex showed them how to take breaks, step back and observe rather than push. Some were reluctant at first. They were so excited by the new ideas and inventions that they didn't want to pause. But when they felt Rilo's calming hum and Alex's encouragement, they slowly agreed. Despite these precautions, Alex noticed another unexpected consequence. Some of the colony's small machines, designed hastily with the inspiration from Rilo's energy, were beginning to malfunction. The inventions were brilliant, but they had been created too quickly without proper testing. A small water pump failed in the garden, and a lighting system shorted out. It was a reminder that even positive influence needed careful management. Alex organized a workshop to address these issues. "Rilo's energy is amazing," he explained to the residents, "but it doesn't replace careful thinking and patience. We need to combine your creativity with planning. That's the best way to make the most of this experience." Rilo nodded in agreement, his glow calming the room. Yes, humans must apply wisdom with energy. Inspiration without caution can lead to imbalance. The residents began learning to pace themselves, alternating time near Rilo with periods of rest. Machines were tested properly, inventions were refined, and even the gardens were tended more carefully. Alex noticed that the small challenges actually made people more confident. They were learning to use the alien energy responsibly, rather than depending on it blindly. One evening, Alex reflected on the events of the day. The colony had seen incredible benefits, but only because they had learned to combine Rilo's influence with human effort. The temporary problems were not failures, they were lessons. Alex smiled at Rilo, who was glowing softly nearby. "You've taught us more than just creativity and energy. You've taught us balance, patience, and responsibility." Rilo hummed a soft melodic sound that felt almost like approval. "Humans are capable of learning quickly. They respond to guidance. This is rewarding." By the end of the week, the colony had adjusted fully. People were still benefiting from Rilo's energy, but they were also applying their own judgment and care. The initial excitement had been refined into thoughtful action. Even the machines and gardens were improving steadily, with less risk of mistakes or overwork. Alex realized that the unexpected consequences had been necessary. Without them, humans might have over-relied on Rilo's presence and lost the chance to grow on their own. Now the colony was not only thriving with alien assistance, but also maturing in wisdom and cooperation. As the twin moons of Nova Terra rose over the settlement, Alex walked past glowing gardens, humming neighbors and softly buzzing inventions. Life was alive, vibrant, and balanced. He knew Rilo's mating season would end soon, but he also understood that the lessons learned would remain. The colony was stronger, more creative, and more united than ever before. Alex looked at Rilo, glowing peacefully in his yard, and felt gratitude. The alien neighbor had not only brought energy and inspiration, but had also shown humanity what it meant to work together, adapt, and respect life in all its forms. The experience had been extraordinary, and Alex knew that the future held even greater possibilities. For the first time, He felt certain that humans and aliens could not only coexist but thrive together, learning from each other and achieving things that neither could do alone. The last days of Relo's mating season had arrived, and the colony felt a sense of calm and excitement at the same time. The energy that had once been overwhelming was now familiar, balanced, and appreciated. Residents had learned to pace themselves, using the alien influence wisely while combining it with their own efforts. Gardens flourished, inventions worked smoothly, and the neighborhood had never felt more connected. Alex walked through the colony early that morning, observing the changes with quiet pride. Children were playing, sharing ideas for small experiments, and even the adults were laughing while working on projects together. The streets were filled with gentle hums of machines, the soft glow of plants, and the occasional melodic hum from Relo's yard. Life was thriving in a way Alex had never imagined when Relo had first moved in. He paused by the garden and noticed Maria, who had struggled early on during the mating season. She was tending to flowers with careful hands, humming softly. Alex smiled. "You're doing well," he said. Maria looked up, smiling warmly. "I am. It took time to adjust, but now, it's incredible. Everything feels alive, connected. I've never seen the garden grow like this before." Alex nodded. "Rilo helped all of us, but you did the work too. That's what matters, balance and effort together." Across the colony, similar scenes unfolded. People were working together, sharing ideas and learning from one another. The energy from Relo had inspired them, but it had also taught them patience, responsibility, and cooperation. The neighborhood was no longer just a place to live. It had become a community thriving with knowledge, creativity, and harmony. Later that day, Alex visited Relo. The alien was sitting quietly in the yard, humming a soft tune as his skin glowed gently. "Relo," Alex said, "it's almost over, isn't it?" "Yes," Relo replied. "My cycle will end soon. The energy will return to normal. But the growth you have achieved will remain. Humans have adapted well," Alex smiled. "They have. And I think we've learned something important too. Not just about your species, but about ourselves. We can grow, adapt, and work together even when things seem strange or difficult at first." Relo hummed softly, a sound that seemed full of approval. "Humans are resilient. They learn quickly when guided with patience and respect. You have helped them." Well, Alex felt a warm sense of pride. The journey had been extraordinary. When Relo had first moved in, life had seemed ordinary, with only quiet days and simple routines. Now the colony was alive with creativity, cooperation, and harmony. The alien neighbor who had seemed so mysterious had become a teacher, a guide, and a friend. As the sun of Nova Terra set, Alex walked past the glowing gardens and workshops one last time before the cycle ended. Even the smallest creatures, pets, birds, and insects, seemed more lively, as if they too had been touched by Relo's presence. The colony had not only survived the alien influence, it had grown stronger because of it. That evening, the colony gathered near the communal garden to celebrate the end of the mating season. People shared stories of what they had learned, demonstrated their inventions, and showed off the flourishing gardens. Alex spoke to the group, his voice calm but full of excitement. "This season has been unusual, even challenging at times. But we've learned that cooperation, understanding, and balance are the keys to success. We've grown not only in what we can do, but in how we work together." Relo stood quietly nearby, glowing softly. "Yes, growth is strongest when all life works in harmony. Humans have learned well. Their future will be bright." The twin moons rose over Nova Terra, casting a soft light on the colony. Alex looked around and felt a deep sense of hope. Life on this distant planet was no longer just about survival. It was about thriving, learning, and sharing energy and ideas across species. Humans and aliens had discovered that they could inspire and help each other, creating something extraordinary together. As Alex returned home, he paused near Relo's yard one last time. "Thank you," he said softly. "For everything." Relo's glow flickered gently, almost like a nod. "And thank you, Alex. Humans and aliens can accomplish great things together. You have shown that curiosity, patience, and cooperation can turn even the unexpected into something wonderful." Alex smiled, feeling a quiet excitement for the future. The mating season had ended, but the lessons, friendships, and growth would remain. The colony had changed forever, stronger, wiser and more united than ever before. And in the quiet glow of the alien neighbor's yard, Alex knew that the possibilities for tomorrow were limitless.